Yo, Paul, you're winning this one. 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 Yo, Paul, you're winning this one.
Boy. Mana nih boy. Anyway, perfect. Hah? Okay. A late night stream. Woo, motherfucker. So today leo hadi iko ni stream pana. Leo iko ni stream but nimefika tu mahali nikapata band. Oh lo. Kuna vitu nimekuwa nikiignore for the longest time na niko sure by the time nitakuwa nazifikia zitakuwa irrelevant. So acha nizifanye leo kwa siku stream jana juzi na leo na juzi na games kama kawaida sisi ndi reactors sisi gamers for now anyway. So list ni mrefu leo. Perfect. Makofi kwa hii kwanza nimetaka kuiona for the longest time. So tunaanza nayo na leo ni playlist. Kwa video moja na ruka ingine. As usual, back again with another counter report. But on a serious note, comment sections that TikTok, Twitter, na YouTube, but especially Instagram Reels. Zinaanga very dangerous.
TikTok is getting out of hand in Kenya, and in this video, I'll show you.
Nini? Sinabonga bado. Anyway, TikTok is, as he said, is getting out of hand, but especially huwezi fanya kitu yoyote creator. Kwanza leo kuna madam fulani nilipata tu na yana dance vitu ngoma zake pole nini. Jamaa tu wako hapo hivyo comment section anasema ati siku za mwisho tutaona vitu za ajabu na watu ajabu watatokeza jamani. Mtu tu atafanya content kwa maana, lakini anyway, the dark side of TikTok in Kenya. Another cool. baina glitch nayo. Hebu cheza.
TikTok is getting out of hand in Kenya, and in this video I'll show you how. So nimekugawanishia hii video into 4 subtitles on how it is getting out of hand. The first one is bullying. The second one is immorality.
Guy, imagine ako tuko wewe nini mbaya naenda kugonga bari, hebu toka hapa.
The third one,
TikTok lives hizi ni gani hizi? What is going on? What is usually going on during TikTok lives za usiku? Tayari sisi jaribu kuingia hapo.
Is spreading of gayism.
Umeona?
Wewe nishamuoa.
Shamuona.
Hizi mambo tena bana tukut.
Tumemaliza 2 years.
And the last one is AI content.
Kasongo yeye. Mumbali nanga. Kasongo mbona.
So kana mimi
But hizi video kwanza kuna sound fulani wanatumia ya commander, sound fulani ya commander. Kila mtu kuna mwingine anatumia ile mtoto wake anakimbia tena anaruka na dandia ndege. Hiyo content ni upuzi. But ndio ina trend, so onda nikiona every time unafungua TikTok this the only first thing unapatana nayo jamani.
peleke into details on how TikTok ime affect and how TikTok it has gotten out of hand in Kenya manzejo. I'm Kunta from Kunta Reports.
Get ready.
TikTok. Manzejo, ukisikia hiyo app, hii app acha kwanza nipe uzuri wake. This app imesaidia watu wengi sana, wametoka kwa block ama wamejiinua. Imetumika kama a marketing app. Watu wamekuwa kidance na unasema wanafanya my endorsement. Yani TikTok pia it has its positive side, but unfortunately iko na positive na iko na negative, and today we'll be looking at the negative side of TikTok. So let's start with the first one, bullying. Nataka watch hii video alafu nikuambie kitu.
Uchumi imekuwa mbaya mpaka mtu anakunyang'anya mandunya.
Nini? No! What am I looking at, bro? What am I even looking at? Amenyang'anywa hadi mandunya. No, this is amazing content. Hapa hivi ningeachadi like kuna makosa imefanyika. Kuna makosa imefanyika. Kamera ifanyi bwana. Yeah. What am I even looking at? Urana kana za umafuchi.
So kicheki hapo, huyu ni jamaa anapiga content yake. Ukienda TikTok na wanajiita bro fan. Ukitaka unaweza enda wa support manzejo. Wanapiganga ma comedy skits. So huyu jamaa is a victim of this bullying. Nataka sasa tusome hizi comments 5.
Nilijua sasa yeye nataka kusongesha na jiweka kwenye spy. Then yeye anakuja anajiweka. Excellent. Hadi umeona? Hadi umeona? Hadi umeona? Boop. Turudi tu hapa chini. Unataka kusema hizi nipiga. Naweza nipiga.
Na uniambie what you see common in these comments. Sawa? Sitaki nikwambie ni nini, just look at these 5 comments. Nataka tupitie one by one, alafu niambie what is common in all 5 of them. Sawa? So hizi ni comments zilikuwa under that video nimekuonyesha. Ya kwanza inasema kwani ni half caste ya Mluya na crocodile? Nataka uangalie. Umeona hiyo comment? Haya, twende kwa ya pili. kwani watu wa XYZ hutembea? Angalia hiyo
Ananirealize anakaruto XYZ. Oh no, 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 no.
comment vizuri, angalia hiyo comment. Sawa, twende ya 3. Huyu angechelewa kuzaliwa kama pole. Huyu angechelewa kuzaliwa kama siku mbili hivi angekuwa shark. Angalia hiyo comment, niambie nini unaona. Haya, twende next. Wewe hata unaweza ua sumu. Unanitana pa? Alasema huyu jamaa anaweza ua sumu. Angalia hiyo comment. Alafu tena ya mwisho, huyu matope yake iliongezwa baking powder. Okay? Look at that comment. Haya. Ataka uniambie nini umeona common on these 5 comments. 1, ni commenti hapo chini before nikuambie. Haya, ni hivi. Hizi comments zote ziko na likes mingi. Kumaanisha kuna watu wana like hizi comment za watu wana comment wakibuli huyu jamaa. Na ukiangalia, this is a common occurrence kwa video mingi huko TikTok. Ni kama watu wanashindana nani anaweza tusiana the most na apate likes mingi kwa kutusi the creator of the video mazejo. So this is a pandemic. Tusidanganyane mazejo wa Kenya. Let's stop this online ama mnaita cyberbullying. Acheni hizi comments za TikTok zimego too far.
Yeto serikali iliweka mikakati ya kudina cyberbullying na guys. So na update the online or internet something app.
Kuna vitu hata zilikuwa zinasemwa lakini sijaweka kwa video because they are so graphic and they can leave someone akuwe na low self esteem. Sawa, so kama umefika hadi hapa, nataka ucomment doors open. Please, we comment to doors open. One day tukikaribia ma 20k subscribers ndawaambia hii doors open mbona nashinanga nikiwaambia. Sawa, just comment doors open. So let us go to number 2. Number 2 is immorality. So hapa kwa immorality,
especially kwa live vitu zinaendelea ile live section, ilibidi nimedelete account yangu ni app mpya na nikaanza kuno interested hizi vitu. So siku hizi ni anime, edit no one piece spoilers like it's supposed to be.
Na watu waliingia live wakifanya kile kitendo. Unajua kile kitendo cha kitanda ni kitendo cha kitanda ni. Watch this video.
Anapumua kama tractor.
Bana TOS.
Imagine. Guy, imagine ako tuko wewe. Nini mbaya anaenda kugonga bari. Hebu toka hapa. Ushagonga ngumu kama za meno. Ati nimemwaga kabla umpe.
Lord God, I come to you a sinner and I humbly request for my sins. I believe that Jesus Christ is Lord. I believe that He died for my sins. What?
Strangle.
What is going on?
Strangle.
Watu wanafanya nini hao?
Akia Mungu bede. Hizi ni mahot. Guys. We did.
What are these? What are these? Ukiangalia hapo nyuma ni kibaba kikubwa tu kiko na kipara tu kiko hapo kimengangana tu hapo kinafanya shughuli manzejo. Na wako live. Where did shame go in this our society?
Fatherless behavior. But the father is here, so you cannot even say fatherless behavior.
Kimzai tu kiko hapo kimengangana tu juu huyo mpoa. Na wako live. There is no shame anymore. Mimi vetu naona hii mambo. That's a very very bad act you should be doing on live. Vitu kama hizo ni mfanyie huko hataki kuona manzejo. Sawa. So in immorality bado tuko na watu wanafanya things to get views. So angalia kama ukijana
Kasongo yeye Mombali nanga Kasongo mbona wewe Songa libala.
So ukiangalia huyu
amefungula sabuni anataka kuosha roho. What?
Wa omo. Unajua si kila kitu washing powder zote tunazitanga omo. So amefungua hiyo omo. Anakula. Ndo apate likes and views. Unajua hata tuna TikTok hata ikulipi ukipata hizo likes and views. So ukicheki huyu jamaa anakula omo ndo apate likes and views. In short, he's doing it for fame or let's say clout. Anafanya for clout. And this is one such kind stupid immorality. You get me fam? Vitu kama hizo.
This is absolutely idiotic. It's stupid. Where is it? Where? Rudi.
To get views.
This is madness. This is insane. Mbona ukule tu omo? Clean stuff. For who? For why? Mnyang'anya watoto wa Bungoma bwana simu.
Is want to scam in real life, they want your money. So angalia kama huyu jamaa najua mshaimuona.
Naenda kupasua hii simu into two halves. I'm going to see if
ule jamaa fulani alikuwa anatupima maneno ya iPhone. Join my course. Akusho kuingiza biashara.
Hivi. 3.
Alafu amekalia foreign. Bana patia gari heshima yake bwana. Man, where is my foreign?
1. Ni pass bro.
Niambie form bro.
So mimi upewa say free betting tip. Absolutely.
Mwalai.
Ya kushika machine kama hii na upaswe kama hizi. Una click tu link iko kwa bio yangu.
For serious bro.
Ingia hapo nitakupa free betting tip.
Badala kupasua simu usinipatie.
Mimi nataka kuipasua live on camera.
Vunja nione. Ukivunja mimi nakupea 1 million.
Unanipea 1 million.
Ukivunja simu nakupea 1 million.
3.
Huyu cameraman umetoa 1 million. Watu acha kunifanya mjinga. Cameraman.
2 1.
Vunja. Bro, mbona umevunja simu?
Edit point. Mnafanya wajinga, ndio.
So huyu nilishaunda video yake already, nilishachambua mambo yake already. This guy is not legit. Sawa, ukiangalia hiyo simu unajuanga hata iPhone inanga surrounded with aluminium mama nini. Hebu niambieni, lakini najua iko na kachuma fulani on the edges manzejo. So sijui benye simu inaweza tu vunjika hivi kama kiplastic manzejo. Huyu niko na video yake full, nitaweka huko. Hii video ikiisha nitailink huko, sawa, utaenda tu watch video yake full manzejo. So that's one of the immoralities manzejo. So after immorality tunaenda sasa kwa gayism. Unacheki this TikTok imechangia sana watu wameanza kuwa magay ama tuseme wanaume. Imeamplify watu wameanza kuwa magay. It's like the TikTok algorithm inapenda gay content manzejo. And
Sony agenda. Okay. Msisahau hiyo part ni agenda.
Not this situsi mtu. Kila mtu afanye vile anajisikia. Not YouTube. I'm not insulting anyone. I'm just, this is educative purpose. This is for educational purpose. You get me fam? So watch this video of these Batty boys.
Unampendea nini Shanizi?
Mimi
unampendea nini?
ni muhandi. Boy yako na talent.
Kuna talent.
Yeah.
Ingine
Hizo tu.
Umeoana?
Wewe nishamuoa.
Shamuoa. Miaka ngapi sasa hivi?
Tumemaliza 2 years.
2 years. Congratulations bro.
Ndio.
Sasa
unaona vile ni kitu safi.
Ako sawa.
Hizi ni gani? Kicheki hawa ana wasi wanafunguana nyuma. Ni ma backside boys. If you know what I mean. Ni ma backbiter. You get me, fam? So personally, kila mtu akona I don't care what you do with your private parts. That's your problem. But TikTok kicheki imeamplify this gayism. Sawa? So ya mwisho, last but not least, it is AI content. Hizi ni content zingine zinafanya unakuwa na brain rot ama akili yako inaoza ukiangalia vitu kama hizi, unashanga what are these? Just look these two examples.
Kasongo hizi mandege hizi kwanza sasa naenda majuu. That is the sound that hizi sasa naenda majuu bana. Hizi video nimepata nazo mingi to the point zimeanza kuwa annoying. Oh my god, ngoja uone. Alafu yenyewe wenye wanatumia I make sense. Unaona kama umeruka tu kwa ndege randomly. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Mbali nanga toka Kasongo, mbona salimia watu mzee. Hi cousins, happy Sabasaba. Leo wamefunga njia lakini maandamano lazima ifanyike.
Umeziona? Hizo ni content fulani zenye ukiwatch manze jo unasikia tena ni kama akili yako tena ni kama tena inaanza
ndio bana. At least YouTube ilifanya ile sema maneno ya kuja na AI alafu unasema unataka kutengeneza dona haiwezi. At least walisema at least TOS makofi kwa YouTube.
Yani ni kitu tena isaidi tena akili. Sijui kai iko na entertainment value. I don't know which value it provides, but it is getting out of hand. TikTok juu inatusupplyia hizi ma video sana manzejo. So
imefika mahali na kwa TikTok imeanza kukani kama Facebook. Shingia Facebook kwa hawana au kapata na venye AI za huko zinawangawia. TikTok imeanza kuiba AI kila mahali, every left type corner, unless ni mtu mwenye uwezi for this hadi sipatana na new creators. The only type of new creator apatana naye ni easy AI videos. Hizi AI videos kila mahali, AI videos. Kwanza hizo zenye watu sana naenda majuu. Hizo zimeni annoy tu. I don't know interest yangu ifanye anymore. TikTok inafanya za kuconsider hizi vitu.
Majama, what is the moral lesson for this video? Mazejo, TikTok is a good platform. Ndiyo, inasaidia watu wamemarket small business kama hizo za thrift, market dance, watu wa kudance wamepata endorsement na nini. TikTok yes imesaidia, but let's be careful tukitumia TikTok. Mazejo, tuitumie kwa njia nzuri. Stop bullying. Juu imekuwa common sana. Mnashinda nani anaweza toa ile matusi ile noma tena zaidi tena juu zaidi. Sijui kama unanitana hapa.
Kama comment section, hizi comment section ndio watu wanaanza practice skills zenye wali catch up from day what? Class 3 and day what? I'm pretty sure class 3 ndio watu wanaanza kuwa na very creative type of insults. Mchongo wano basi, za mchongo wano zinatoka ground.
Tusikuwe tena watu kama hizo. Lakini unajua tena nasemangaje? Siku zote nasemanga mimi si omlamuzi, omwanika the chief advisor. Kila mtu afanye vile anajisikia.
The chief advisor achiwe like songanga. The chief advisor. Bring back accountability. Yes, that is something we agree on. Bring back shame and accountability. Bring back shame and accountability. Ciao. You get me?
Kenya, greeting your neighbor might actually make you look weird. And Pomo, a whole delicacy in Nigeria, is seen as nothing special here. This one really hit me. In fact, it threw me over. In Kenya, when you hear someone says a hotel, he means a local restaurant. So who will buy a crate of egg in Kenya when you...
Hi, unani huyu? Travel story. Kuna huyu vlogger fulani anasema 15 shocking truths about Kenya. 15 shocking truths. 15 shocking truths. Sasa ameshokiwa na nini huku? Juu
Kenya, greeting your neighbor might actually make you look weird. And Pomo, a whole delicacy in Nigeria, is seen as nothing special here. This one really hit me. In fact, it threw me over. In Kenya, when you hear someone says a hotel, he means a local restaurant. So who will buy a crate of egg in Kenya when you're buying one is the same price, and when you're buying in bulk, you're still paying the whole crate price? Somebody is trying to board a matatu or a bus and is standing in a queue. Imagine somebody boarding to Moluwe and is standing in a queue. If you're not subscribed to this channel, what are you waiting for? This is a raw, unfiltered channel. This is a channel where I get to experience Africa, traveling through Africa, and share it with you, my tribe. Make sure you stay subscribed to the channel. Don't forget, my name's theBoy.Travis, and the channel is Tribe, and we're here to explore Africa and beyond. First of all, I want to start with Kenya and visit all 47 counties of Kenya. I'm sure you would like to follow me on this journey. I came from Nigeria, lived in Dubai, and now I'm here in Kenya. And what I have seen, massive cultural shocks. Let's get into it exactly.
Nijue kama tumeharibiwa jina kwa sababu Nigeria umekuja mtaangu sana, mnakuja kujificha huku. Asifurahi.
The mind your business culture. As a Nigerian, community is everything. We greet our neighbors, stop to gist, even give unsolicited advice sometimes. But here in Kenya, people are incredibly respectful of personal spaces. No one is in your
respectful or we don't care. You know, we must learn the difference.
Business, you could live in a compound for a year and barely know your neighbor's name even.
But hizi ni mambo za hapa. Bana huko geto tunajuana kutoka juu hadi chini. Tunajua mama nani anafanga na watu wangapi, anafanya nini na alinunua TV lini.
It's not just rudeness, it's just the culture. People mind their businesses and they expect you to do the same. Like women do it all.
And you can see women calling me to clean up my shoes. It's surprising that you find women doing polish.
That's the second culture shock I got here. In Nigeria, there are still clear societal expectations. Certain jobs are seen as male-dominated, but in Kenya, women are everywhere. I've seen women as matatu conductors, bus drivers, shoe shiners, mechanics, and even running.
The economy is doing well. The economy is doing well. I mean, why wouldn't the women want to become conductors? Because the economy is doing well. The economy is doing so well that women don't even have the priority or the ability to choose where they want to do or what they want to do.
Running construction sites, the gender role here are more flexible than it's normalized. No one is batting an eyelid. Everybody is there. Men are cooking in public spaces. Hey. In Nigeria, though we have a few, but here in Kenya, it shocked me to see men openly cooking in public. I'm not talking about chefs. I'm talking about regular men making chapatis, ugali, smochas, mandazis in street kiosks. Back home Nigeria, that will raise a few eyebrows. Like, where's your wife? Where's your... daughter? But here, no shame.
Like I said, the economy is doing so well that people no longer have the ability to choose.
No stigma. Hotels in Kenya aren't hotels. Sincerely, That's the fourth cultural shock I got. Because in Kenya, when somebody says hotel, they actually mean a local restaurant where people eat food. That's what they call a hotel. Okay, I thought I was going to sleep somewhere, only to realize I was just going to a spot where they sell chapatis, chai, and fried fish. And somebody just said a hotel. Funny enough, it was just a restaurant. Culture shock number 5 is tea.
Kuna nini? Video yake na audio yake kwa sync.
Kenyans are so obsessed with tea. Kenyans love tea. Chai is more than just a drink here. It's a lifestyle. Morning, afternoon.
Kuna chai ya mchana, chai ya asubuhi, chai ya jioni na chai before ulale. But hiyo ya wazazi wetu. But for some reason hadi tumeanza kuadapt. For some reason siku hizi kuna chai inaniita. I'm a coffee person, but chai inaniita.
Evening, even before bed. Here in Kenya, it's something. And you also see people hawking it, their kettles or bottles or flasks on the streets of Nairobi, and different types. You can actually find black tea with lemon. You can find tea with fresh milk. That brings me to...
Huyu ameenda hapo na sijui lemon sijui. Anafaa kujibase tumpatie strungi. Ama long tea yenye ni maji yenye kuna kala ya maziwa na majani kwa wingi.
One other thing, while in Nigeria we use a lot of powdered milk, here in Kenya, maybe because they have a lot of cattle, they use a lot of fresh milk. Like you see fresh milk vendors everywhere. You even find like ATMs where you can actually put your coin and get your fresh milk here in Kenya. It's something that really surprises me. Very rare you find somebody using powdered milk. So that's a big thing, and they really love their chai. They love their chai. In fact, when somebody is looking for a bribe or a tip, he tells you, "Can you buy me chai?" or "Can you buy me tea?" Yes.
Amepatana na watu wanaitishana na chai. Okay. That is not the type of tea that they are talking about. Kwani mwenye alikuwa anampatia tu agada akumwambia hiyo part. That is not the type of tea they are looking for. That is not the type of tea they are looking for. There's a different type of tea. You know? No?
So, that's it. Wow, the queue culture. Another culture shock that hit me here in Kenya is the queuing up. Now, this is something I admire deeply. In Kenya, people queue, whether it's a bus stop, it's a bank, it's a shop, they wait their turns. No jumping, no fights.
Amjamwambia patia atimatu kupigia line hivi. Mbona mjamwambia hiyo part? Kama ilianzishwa na nani? Okay, najua hizi vitu za kwenda tikaro mingi. Kwenda tikaro. Kwa sababu mimi sijaiona tukipanga line kwa Niko. Ama ushaipanga line kwa Niko maina? No.
No shouting. Guess if this is Nigeria. In Nigeria, you know how that goes. Queue na struggle. But here, it's calm, peaceful. People actually respect order, which I really find very interesting. You know, somebody is trying to board a matatu. Imagine somebody boarding Moluwe and is standing in the queue. While we run and struggle, who gets in first? Here, it's calm, and there is nobody ordering the queue. Once somebody starts the queue, another person jumps behind. Exactly, you find everybody follows. And that
was an amazing idea. Mwenye alianzisha hiyo maneno ya kunisha watu line. Hata kama alinibo mimi kwenye niko na haraka.
Something I really admire about Kenyans and their kind of calmness also. Another thing that struck me is Nairobi really Kenya? There's this funny but real sentiment. If you are not in Nairobi, you're not in Kenya. Like, it's so developed, fast-paced, and sometimes feels like a different country entirely. The skyscrapers, the traffic lights. Then you leave Nairobi and suddenly you are in a completely different world. The contrast is so wild. Like, once you leave Nairobi, there are some certain counties surrounding Nairobi that are really high.
Of course, the city of Africa has to be nice, but our Ushago has to be even more Ushago. You know, the diversity is there. It must be there.
Really developed, like Machakos, like Kiambu, that are around Nairobi. And
ametoka Kenya, ameenda Machakos, na mimi sijui inakaangaje Machakos yenyewe. Okay, shaipita one. But it doesn't count. Here it count kama kuna Machakos.
They're really growing very fast. But once you leave to the countryside, like you can see the difference. But one good thing I like is that the road network to all the counties that I've traveled to so far now, 13, are very, very good roads. And everybody believes that to make it, you have to be in Nairobi. So when you're on the streets of Nairobi, you see so many people. Every time of the day, morning, afternoon, and evening, there's so many people on the streets of Nairobi. So I'm going to be making a video where I'll be talking to a few people, showing you the streets of Nairobi and why people are always there on the street of Nairobi. Anyways, let's get down to the next one. So that was my culture shock number 7. And of course, the number 8, which is the European dress.
Number 7. Na video 23. What?
Dressing culture. In Kenya here, they have somehow abandoned their cultural dresses. In Nigeria, we love our native wares. You will see the agbadas, the ankaras, the wrappers, everyday life. You know, everywhere you go, you will see people dressed like that for all kinds of events. But in Kenya, especially in the city, it's almost an all European style dressing. You will see jeans, hoodies, suits, t-shirts, except for the Maasai. You already know them. They're very rare kind. You rarely see any traditional dresses except for them. It's modern. It's is 18 years old can leave home and start a new life. In Kenya, it's normal for a kid can leave 8. Okay, 8. Now we go to number 9. This one will shock you. Actually, is 18 years old can leave home and start a new life. In Kenya,
that is a lie. That is a lie. 18 we are told to leave. We do not want to go. The difference is we do not want to go. At least my generation does not. We do not want to go. It is the parents that are telling you, get out of my house. Get out of my house. You are an old person. But I think hii ni kimambo tu yenye ni Wakenya tulianzisha. Because Jack alisema pia kwao ni ngumu upate mtu ametoka tu anajishisha yake. Na Jack ni Mkongo. Na Jack pia anaishi Uganda. So I'm assuming anachukua culture za Uganda na za Congo at the same time. Yeah, my mother warned me about putting things in my ear, but
it's normal for a kid.
My point is I think ni kitu wenye tulianza kufanya tukiwa Afrika mzima, almost Afrika mzima ni hizi ni kitu tu wa Kenya tulianzisha tu wenyewe. Tulianza kubishana kwa tulianzisha wenyewe kwa Jack alisema alisemeko oh Jack ni my brother from Congo. Alisemeko people that live in their own houses are usually immoral and it's frowned upon to do it, basically.
To move out at 18 because he's already an adult. Like a coming of age ritual. They start living on their own, hustling. You see them having their small businesses, learning their trade, figuring out their life. In Nigeria, unless you are married or relocated for work or school, you're probably staying under your parents' roof. Here, independence kicks.
Let's go back to the cultural beliefs. Let's go back. Hapa hii area moja ndo nitasema tutakubaliana jamani. Tutakubaliana na nyinyi. Tutakubaliana na wa Nigeria. Lakini independence lazima tufanye.
Early. And I think maybe that's why they're a bit more resilient, and everybody's a hustler. So that's why maybe they are fast-paced like that. The scale of economy here in Kenya is absolutely something else. That's my culture shock number 10. Everything is measured in grams. From supermarkets to street vendors, scales are a must. Buying tomatoes, a piece per. You actually pay for each tomato, 1 piece. Onions, 1 piece. And then every other thing like grains is measured in scales. They don't have what they call jara in Nigeria. Like you buy meat and then somebody puts jara for you. No. And if you're buying meat, be sure they're going to add for you with bones. except you're buying steak. But they will sell for you meat. There has to be bones in it because bones are part of the cow.
Okay,
You don't have anything like bones are not part of the cow. They're part of the cow. So they have to have bones in it. For the grains, they will measure for you, and they measure to the last grain. Like, what surprised me was I wanted to buy peanuts and they were measured in spoons. Like, they measure for you 1 spoon, and 1 spoon is 10 bob. Another 1 spoon is 10 bob. Another 1 spoon in spoon, not hip, you know. Yes, that's how they measure for me, and I was really shocked to see that. While in Nigeria we have cups, and they will even put the cup, hold it to their hand, measure, make sure it's really full before they can even put for you. So this was a very big culture shock for me to see here in Kenya. In Dubai, yes, they measure in grams also, but at least sometimes they can put a little top up for you, not like absolutely the way they do it here in Kenya. Even buying meat in Dubai, you know, there are sometimes you go to buy meat from the meat.
Let me just clarify something small for you. In order for you to be topped off, you must be a regular customer. It is a prerequisite. It is something you must have been doing.
Shop, you actually buy a kilo. They can even add some small you know, extra small meat and put for you. Here in Kenya, they measure to the last gram. That's the highest. They will never sell for you extra. The last gram. Tell me how it's done in your country.
It's because the economy is doing so well. The economy is amazing that we have to measure everything in the small bits and sizes.
Is it done the same way like I've just made mention of in Dubai and the way they do it in Nigeria? In Nigeria, you want meat for 500, they just cut. If you're okay with it, they give you. If you want it to be weighed, then they weigh it. But most times we buy bulk. That's how we buy our meat. So here they measure to the gram. Yes. Another thing that really struck me is profit margins. While in Nigeria you can buy something for like 15 bob and sell it for like 18, 20, which is okay. In Kenya, it surprised me that an egg which cost 13 shillings after being cooked is being sold for 30. That is more than 100% profit. They call it mai. Mai, they just cut some small kachumbari and open the egg. They put it in the middle. That kachumbari, which is a mixture of tomato and onions, fresh, and then they just put it inside.
I am probably sounding like a very broken radio by now, but I keep telling and I keep saying the profit margins are just because the economy is doing well that we have to give the entirety of their paycheck to the government. And I still have to pay school. And I still have to pay a fuel levy and housing levy and so many other taxes because the economy is doing so well. So in order for me to be able to sustain myself and my business, I need to expand the profit. Those are not profit margins.
And they sell it to you at 30 bob. Well, man, that is, hey, if Nigerians know how to do that, I'm sure Nigeria will be on another level. But in Kenya, they're not worried about it. It's normal for them. And one thing that surprised me, though in Nigeria we buy bulk, here in Kenya they shop daily. Like whenever they want to eat, that is when they go to the market to shop because they like fresh food. I don't know. Now it's now. In bulk, again, not meeting. But let me say this loud. In Nigeria, pomo skin that even here. So pomo is not meat in Kenya.
What is pomo?
Cow skin that even in Nigeria you ship, export. Let me say this loud. In Nigeria, pomo is a national treasure. You know what is national treasure? And in case if you don't know what pomo is the cow skin. After the cow is being slaughtered, the skin is being removed. It is roasted, and then all the hairs are burnt with fire, and then now it is taken, washed. Some dry it and export it. Some take it straight to the market after washing. Now almost every meal, you know, every stew, every obono, egusi soup has some small pieces of it inside.
What? What? Wanakulanga nyama ya ngozi ya ng'ombe. That is so weird. That is so crazy. Ati amesema inaitwa nini? Pomo. What? That is so weird. How? Also nilienda uni kasikia wakisema omena ni chakula ya umba. So I wouldn't be even that shocked. Yes. Ukienda Uganda omena ni chakula ya mbwa. Na like Victoria kama yote ni yao. So unashindwa nini?
People laugh at me when I say we eat cow skin. Hey, Nigerians have built an empire with pomo. Some are shipping it outside of Nigeria. You ship to UK, to Germany, where you have a lot of Nigerians and foreigners that have actually tried it. I'm telling you, love it. So if you're Kenyan,
I am missing out. If it's being exported, it means I am missing out.
And you've never tried cow skin, though I've seen where you sell the cow head and the cow leg. Yes, the leg you make soup with it and then you eat the meat. It's the same pomo. I don't know how it tastes to you guys, but some people laugh at me when I say Nigerians eat pomo, and I know you do eat it also. So that's another culture shock for me.
But as a meal, it's so weird.
To find out that people don't eat cow skin here, though they eat the cow head, which also has the skin, and they burnt it. They eat the cow legs. So it's a big culture shock for me. And I think if the skins are not used for leather, which is another means of making income from the cow skin, I think it's a very, very big thing. Carpets made from it, very beautiful carpets along Nakuru Road. Yes, I wish to go there someday and maybe capture some clips about the Great Rift Valley. And if I'm able to, I could show you some of those carpets. But they do a lot of good things with the leather here. This one will blow your mind. This one I'm about to talk about will blow your mind. What is that? Kids call adults by their names. Like a teenager will call me Harry by my name. And even if you are like married to their auntie or their uncle, they still call you by your name. Like
your name though. What's the problem? Is it not your name?
No fear. So I don't know what it is. They don't see anything like disrespect. In Nigeria, you don't even call your neighbor who is older than you by like 2 years, 3 years, by his name. You have to put either the uncle, the auntie. Now, this one was wild for me. In Nigeria, children must use titles like uncle, auntie, sir, ma. Even
do we look like we in a patriarchal? Oh wait, we're in a patriarchal. Do I look like we in a matriarchal society? Do we? No. Are you the president of Kenya? No. Even here we don't call him by his excellency title.
Someone 2 years older than you gets that respect, you know. But here in Kenya, no ways. Even in schools, I've seen people, they just call Miss this, Mr. this. Yeah, that's the highest they can give you. But while in Nigeria, you know, we call people by aunties and uncles. Even your older cousins, you call them auntie. Yes, they're your cousins.
Anyway, how move on?
Despite casually how they call people, the casual usage of names, Kenyans' respect is shown more in their humility. That I must say. They are very humble people.
We're pretty chill. We're pretty chill dudes.
Very well-behaved people. You don't hear them shout, though they might call you by names. Respect is shown more in their tone, in their humility, and it's not really about what you call someone. It's about how you respect them. So it's about how you speak to them. I remember someone got me really mad, and I was talking on the phone, and I was like on my voice, and he told me, "You shouted at me." And this is a very young person, so I felt very bad, but then that is who they are. So yeah, Kenya shocked me, not in a bad way, but in a way that has made me respect just how rich, diverse, and to Kenya. Make sure you don't forget this. This is my mix of spices: garlic, ginger, turmeric, as long as you love spices. Because in Kenya, they eat natural, which is not bad. Like they really just cook food and eat it very, very natural. Very lovely and beautiful. I love the taste. But as somebody who has grown eating spice, I always would carry my spice with me, both from the aircraft and also in the buses and while moving around Nairobi. I have this packed in a small container that I carry along with me. Eat it that way because I was brought up eating spices, growing up eating spices. Because I've learned to eat.
Yeah. Just kidding, vitu zingine zote. It's an amazing video though. Pretty great. Kini manne kuitwa anko bana, ukoloni mambo leo iishi. Ukoloni mambo leo ni nani? Unajua kwani kirekodi ya masaa yote tu. Only speaking. Kuna nini mingi kwa sababu ndo naenda kutoa hiyo video kwa sababu sianze kuweza kudelete zingine. Anyway, that's an amazing video. Next. Another counter report. Na kwani counter report niko na backlog na tunaje? Let me just say this. Eric Omondi is among the few people in Kenya when unaona they actually care. Zao ni zile zenye inafika point hadi aishinde akijielezea. Anajielezea nini? Nyinyi mwenyewe mnaona. Kwa mazishi za watu wanatukianga. Mtu akipatikana online anateseka bado atatokea aende asaidie umse. I think I should do a video on Eric Omondi or something. He's an absolute legend. Ule jamaa fulani alivunjwa mlango akakuja watu walonsa wakuja hiyo vitu zake za kwa nyumba, akapost video akasema yako chill relax. Jamaa the next day, that very next day alikuwa kwa mlango yake akimchangishia tu do. So it's an absolutely crazy doubly goated human. This time we give a recommendation another counter report.
Unajua kuna swali mimi hujiuliza. Huyu jamaa lala saa ngapi? Ukiangalia kwa page yake ako na advertisement. Na hizo advertisement ukiangalia ni tofauti na zimefanywa mahali tofauti. Si Mombasa, si Kisumu, si Kakamega, si nini. Alafu na unacheck the next day kukuwe na issue ya ile ya sisi kwa sisi. Huyu jamaa tena ako ground. Iko tena ni activism. Huyu jamaa ako ground. Manzejo, huyu jamaa inafaa tumpe maua yake saa hizi. Huyu jamaa anafanya kazi yenye government zejo inashindwa kufanya. Juu kiangalia kazi anafanya ni the same way tunatoanga tax. Tunafaa tujenge infrastructure. Lakini venye sasa tunachanga hizi doors na saidia hizi mafamilia. Manzejo, huyu jamaa anafanya kazi safi. So majamaa kana mimi niwapeleke into details. Venye huyu jamaa tutampea hii maua yake juu lazima tunatumpe. Tuangalie tena vile anafanya hizi advertisement, creativity na pia the most important manzejo, huyu jamaa hii initiative alikuja nayo sisi kwa sisi. So I'm Kunta from Kunta Reports.
Get ready.
So kama umekuwa hapa already ushajua nani naongelelea. The guy is called Eric Omondi ama vile anajitanga the president of comedy. Mazejo, let's start with this initiative that huyu jamaa alikujanga nayo. Initiative inaitwa sisi kwa sisi. Initiative manzejo ni ya Kenyans. Wanasaidiana wao kwa wao. Yani mtu akipata shida anatumia Eric Omondi just as a platform wase wapate kujua shida yake then wamchangie. Kama wewe unaongelea nini, this is an example.
Nyambura, baba ya Boniface Mwangi Kariuki. Boniface amekuwa kwa muda akiwa hospitalini. Lakini kwa saa hizi tumeambiwa hayuko, ametuacha.
I'm here with the family of Boniface Kariuki. Tuko na yeye hapa na tuko na baba ya Boniface Jonah. And tunaenda kusimama nao. Tusimama na familia ya Boniface Kariuki. Pia tutaomboleza nao. Tutawa comfort. Tutaomba nao. Tutatembea nao. Tutazika nao. We will celebrate him as a hero. Hatutaisahau jina yake.
So kicheki hapo, that's just an example. Huu ni Boniface Kariuki, ni ule jamaa alikuwa anauza mask mwenye alishutiwa during the protest. Sawa. So ukiangalia hapo huyu jamaa anatumia platform yake to urge Kenyans to help each other. Why? Juu anaona ni kama tena gava tena manzejo, ni kama tena imetuacha. Sijui kwa unanitanapa. Aya, So huyu jamaa anasema hii initiative raise over 72 million as of this interview.
Yes. And then we rally. Yeah. We send one bob, two bob. And so far tumesaidia watu 68.
Wow, 60. How much have you raised? Do you know like how much?
Yes, I know. Yes. So far we've raised over 72 million.
What? 72 million?
In 7 months.
My goodness.
Unacheki hapo anasema amesaidia watu almost 69 people. Na ukumbukia watu ni wenye walikuwa na extreme conditions ama extreme yani tu sijui unajua unanitana pa. Sitaki na nikueleze tena vitu tena kama wewe ni mtoto. Sijui unanitana pa. So unacheki ni aje manzejo. Huyu jamaa acha kwanza nikupe maua zako. Eriko, hii ni kazi safi unafanya. Sisi kwa sisi. Hii ni kazi hata umse akiitisha uprezo inapatana tunamvotia, sawa? So unajua kwa kila kazi ya kukosangi tena watu wanaongea. Lazima tunakuanga na watu wanaongea. So after huyu jamaa alikuwa anapiga hii sisi kwa sisi, kuna watu walikuwa wanasemanga that Eriko Mondi ana pocket some of the money. But unajua ni aje? Kuna huyu dem amekuja akasema cheki majamaa. Lazima niwaambie, niwapashe na mwache ujinga. Nataka tena tuwatch huyu dem, tujue venye anatupasha.
I'm so sure by now umeona ile kazi Eriko Mondi amefanya. Now Eriko Mondi alikuwa anapita mahali, akaona shule ya matope. Na si matope tu, matope ilikuwa imebomoka.
Okay.
Akachukua video ya situation, alafu akakuja akaweka kwa page yake. Akasema pale chini, team sisi kwa sisi, nahitaji kupea hawa watoto a better classroom.
A better classroom.
Okay? Na akaeka namba ya huyo mwalimu, mtume ile kidogo, wewe utaweza kutuma. Classroom si mmeona after few weeks imejengwa. By now I'm so sure umeona classroom imejengwa. Kazi safi. Eriko Mondi apewe maua yake, anafanya kazi nzuri. Shida niko nayo na some of you Kenyans ni venye mnakuanga ungrateful. Nilisikia wengine mkisema Eriko Mondi anakula mchango. No, Eriko Mondi ni mlikuwa mmemchagua MCA, MP, governor ama senator wenu. Ati mko sure ako na payslip and then
saying what we all thinking. Wewe mtu mjinga mwenye anaisha yake. Yo, ati anakula pesa, wewe yako iko wapi? Umechanga kwanza. Kuna 50 bob ama 20 bob ulitoa hapo. No? Shut the fuck up man. What? Afu MTO yako ananaona tu sahi utamuona in like a few months ameanza kupasu barabara zimepasuka anakuja kumoga koroga ndo akuja sema bwana si mmeona? Tumejenga barabara. Sasa nataka mnipatie miaka zingine na kuna tumbo kubwa na sasa alikonga hasla kasi. Continue crashing out.
End of the month. Of course not. Unadhani gari yake inatumianga hewa kwenda kuinspect hizo project na venye zingine ziko mbali? Of course not. So hizi anga issues mnakuanga nazo kusema mtu anakula nini. Hiyo pesa hata ya mchango inafaa ikibaki ya kuya akipewa.
Facts.
Okay, si ati anajenga classroom ahamie huko ishingi huko. Ako na nyumba yake inahitaji kulipwa pia rent. Gari yake pia anaweka mafuta eki hewa ati naenda huko inapeperuka na osmosis.
Facts.
Hata kama anakula bado kazi inakuwa delivered. That is of what is important. Nyinyi hizi hasira mko nazo sijui watu wanakula pesa yenu. Endeni ukauliza wale watu mlichagua wanapeleka wapi pesa yenu. Hao ndio mnafaa kutolea hasira. As for Eriko Mondi ana payslip, hakuna mahali mnamwandikianga payslip. Wengine wenu hata mngekuwa trusted na hizo project zingefanyika, mngekuja kutupia stories za Bunuasi huku kama mmehepa na do. Hata mngeonekana, kazi ni kupayuka. Na mwenye mnapayuka hivyo hata hujaituma hata 10. Kazi ni kuanalyze vile wengine wanakula mchango. Kuna payslip unakuwa umeandikia Eriko Mondi.
So kichekuyu tena amekuja tena akiwaka tena mamoto kama dragons. Sijui kuna nitana pa. Yeye amekuja tena amewaka tena kama dragon, lakini tena ukiangalia leave out the tone of delivery of the speeching. You get me manzejo? Ameongea vitu sensible manzejo na vitu zina make sense. Unanitana pa. Unacheki anasema nyi mlichanga do ifanye nini? Ifanye shughuli imeona imefanywa. Shughuli si imefanywa. Mbona mnakuja tena mnaanza tena kusema tena ma 1 2 shughuli si ilifanywa. Juu tena unajua hebu niambie unaweza jitolea tu tuseme msee Kakamega anataka hiyo help. Uamke tu uende Kakamega. Alafu no check the next day tena mwingine ameamka tena huko Kajiado tena uamke tena uende Kajiado. Acha mambo. Lazima tena pia kuwe na pesa ya matumizi. Sawa? So sijakuja hapa kuwapasha. Mimi tena sio mzazi wenyu. Sijiko na nitana pa. So hiyo issue tumemaliza na tumepea Eriko Mondi maua yake. Good job for sisi kwa sisi. Haya. So ukiangalia huyu jamaa vile nilianzanga hii video nikisema huyu jamaa ulala saa ngapi? Ukiangalia huyu jamaa anafanyanga advertisement zingine noma. Na anaeka tena creativity ndani ya hizi advertisement. Hebu cheki.
Tunakuja. Tunakuja, tunamlock. Mshaanza. Eh.
Ni mbona parankui?
Mbona wamandozi watu wanani? Mbona umekalia nini watu wanani?
Kuna shida kidogo lakini tunakaa. Check WhatsApp. Angalia WhatsApp. Imeanza.
Wacha kufinywa. Kuja Eden Cab.
So ukiangalia kama hiyo, yani tu ni jamaa mcreative, ni jamaa mcreative. Ukiangalia ni jamaa alikuwa comedian kutoka kitambo. So props, huyu jamaa akipewa shughuli ya kuadvertise, huyu jamaa upiga. Umeona ana advertise vitu mingi. So pia hapo nampea flowers zake, anapiga shughuli safi za ki-advertisement. So what is the moral lesson for this story? Tatuazi na ule dem aliwapasha Wakenya manzejo, na watu wanapenda kusema sijui umekula mchango ya nini. Wengine hata mjachangia na mnasema mmekula pesa ya mchango. Weka umeona shughuli imepigwa, ushaona shughuli imepigwa. Alafu na majamaa tusaidiane juu tena mnacheki tena gava kuna design pia ina to let down. Tusaidiane tena sisi kwa sisi. Saidia morio wako. You don't know what is happening behind closed.
You don't know what is happening to me. Saidia mimi na zakabe.
Doors. Get my fam. So siku zote nasimanga mimi sio mlamuzi omwanika the chief.
Iko na 1.9k likes. What? 1.9k views. Only 13 days ago. Okay, sasa nimeacha like yangu mzuri hapo. Nikadisappear. Kwa hiyo saa ngapi? Ati Gospel of Great Idea nyingine hiyo waga ni new. Save to watch later. Excellent. At the hand of Dogo Preso. Who is Dogo Preso? The hand of Dogo Preso.
Unajua kuna mtu kuna boy.
Goja, hatujafika kwako. Kwa Preso.
Mombasa, you probably.
But then ni kweli kuna hanga na magangs. Mombasa is very like serious. Acha tuone hapa hivi kwa description. Once united by football and brotherhood, the TMK gang from Mombasa Old Town quickly descended into one of the most feared criminal groups in Kenya's coast. In this documentary, we to the rise of TMK. TMK wanaume. Okay. For youthful beach hangs, drug-fueled violence, staff wars, tragic consequences of broken systems, and sharing the rare speech accounts, narration, and told the gangsters hii Nairobi Kenya yangu hii.
Know it for the beaches, the food, and the wild night that tourists can't stop about. But behind the palm trees and the Instagram filters is a city fighting a different kind of battle. Mombasa currently has the highest number of active criminal gang in Kenya, 73 in total. For context, Nairobi, Kenya's capital.
Kumaanisha si safe. Mombasa ndio ule jamaa fulani alishikwa kabako man. Kabako.
Comes in second with 56. That gap, it's scary. But today, we are not talking about all 70. We are focusing on just one. TMK Gang, aka Temeke Wanaum. A group that went from kicking footballs to kicking down doors. This is the story of how a brotherhood built on the street football turned into one of Mombasa's most feared criminal organizations. Welcome to Shadows of Justice. I'm Melissa, and this episode might change the way you see Kenya's coastal paradise. Make sure you like, subscribe, and let's get into it.
Yeah. high quality 720p. Is that too much to ask? Not really.
At the center of TMK gang was a name that still sends chills down the coast, Mohamed Mahsen. But on the streets, everyone knew him as Dego Preso. He was
Dego madogo, wewe, cheki, dogo. Dogo Preso. I just got that reference. Dogo, dogo. Anakuja anaweza kuibia simu alafu akuja kuibia demu yako.
just 21 years old, born and raised in the narrow, sun-washed alleys of Kibokoni, Old Town, Mombasa. As a kid, he loved swimming in the ocean, playing barefoot football on the beach. Nothing out of the ordinary. But those childhood moments weren't just innocent fun. They were the beginning of something darker. Because the same boys he played ball with, they became his inner circle. Bobocha, Shafir, Ameto, his day one boys, and now his lieutenant. At first, TMK had a mission, or at least that's what they told themselves. We are just protecting our hood, they said. Their goal, defend Kibokoni from rival gang in Majengo, kind of like a street-level vigilante squad. But yeah, that didn't last. What started as community defense spiraled fast into something else, something ugly. TMK went from protectors to predators. And soon, the same people they claimed to defend were the ones living in fear. At first glance, you'll think these guys were just regular coastal youths, playing football by the ocean, cracking jokes under the palm trees. But as time passed, something started to change. And it all began with how they passed their time. See, TMK wasn't just a gang born out of violence. It was born out of boredom, fear, and frustration. These guys were unemployed, stuck in their neighborhood 24/7. And why?
Yes, unemployment, because the economy is doing so well. The economy is amazing right now.
Because venturing outside meant risking your life. Rival gangs were everywhere, especially in places
like get caught lacking. Sasa Mombasa pia wanatembea na shades na vya kuna joto.
Like Majengo, and stepping into the wrong street could get you slashed or worse. So instead of school or work
or Chicago. Sasa udogo preso ndo sasa ni King Von ama
or any real structure, TMK spent their days on the beach, smoking weed, popping Rohypnol. That's the part people don't talk about enough, the drug. Rohypnol, aka Rofia, is a small unassuming blue pill, usually prescribed to people with severe anxiety or insomnia. But on the street, it's something totally different. Priced at around 850 Kenyan shilling per tab, it's cheap enough to stay hooked and strong enough to knock out your common sense. They'll slide it under their tongue like candy. Just chill, get drowsy, get numb. And if you saw someone with a bright blue tongue, yeah, that was the giveaway. But it wasn't just about getting high. This drug...
Mimi nadhani ni Big Daddy ya blue. Buja ama kwanza mimi nadhani mbona anashinda kinaonyesha ulimi, kumbe ati Big Daddy ya blue. Kumbe ni drugs.
Field sessions bred paranoia and violence. Conversations got darker. Resentment towards rival gang deepened, and slowly the group started evolving from beach boys into something far more dangerous. With their judgment clouded and adrenaline running, they started arming up. Now, while gangs in Nairobi were known to flash guns, TMK had a different play. Dogo Preso wasn't about bullet. He was about blade. Pangas became their signature, large, gleaming machetes that they will proudly pose with, and it wasn't just about protection anymore. It was about intimidation. Dogo Preso, ever the showman, documented everything. He posted photos online of him and his boys holding up pangas, wearing gang colors, looking like a local version of a horror cast. He even went one step further and designed a TMK gang logo, a brutal-looking arc at its center, the symbol of fear they wanted etched into the minds of their enemies. And the committee. From the outside, it looked like chaos, but to them, it was the beginning of a brand. A gang that no longer needed to hide. A gang that wanted to be known. TMK wasn't the only gang trying to run the streets of Mombasa. Just across the divide in Majengo, there was Floropa Gang, a crew with a story almost identical to TMK's childhood friend, beach football, drug, violence. The only difference, they wore different colors and claimed different stuff. At first, it was just online beef. TMK would post pictures flexing pangas. Floropa would clap back with their own posts, showing off 9 machetes and even rumors of firearms. The caption, all threat, stay on your side, we see you, touch Majengo and you're done. But this wasn't just trolling for life. This was real, and then it turned deadly. August 12, 2016, Old Town, a wedding was happening. A night of
2016 nilikuwa wapi? Oh, I remember, it was in my prime. The middle of my prime.
Celebration full of music, food, and dancing, and then chaos. Weso, a member of the Floropa gang, was attending the event when he was hacked to death by unknown attackers. No warning, no escape, just pure brutal violence. Nobody officially knew who did it. The streets were quiet, but the whispers, they were loud. Everyone was pointing fingers at TMK. Whether they did it or not didn't matter. To Floropa, this was war. Weso's death became the breaking point in a feud that had been building for years. Online threats turned into real-world bloodshed, and weddings, became the new battleground. What was supposed to be peaceful cultural event started turning into gang hunting ground. Night after night, attacks kept happening. More fights, more stabbing, more funerals. The violence got so bad, the Mombasa police chief had to step in. August 16, 2016, just 4 days after Weso's murder, authorities issued a citywide ban on night wedding. You heard that right. No more night wedding Mombasa. The move was meant to stop the violence, to cool things down, to remind the city that no matter how deep the beef went, innocent lives were being dragged into. But the truth, by then, it was already too late. The gangs weren't just fighting for tough anymore. They were fighting for revenge. By early November, things had hit a boiling point. Floropa wasn't going to let Weso's death slide, so they struck back fast. A bold, retaliatory hit aimed straight at TMK's pride. That was all Dogo Presso needed to snap. He wanted revenge, and not just in whispers. He made it public. He went straight to Faki Ropa, the alleged head of the Floropa gang, and sent him a voice note on WhatsApp, not just any message. This one was icy, and then he posted it online for the whole city to see. Now, here is where it gets kind of heartbreaking. In that conversation, Faki didn't want smoke, but Mercy wasn't.
It's all about the smoke. Ooh, all about the smoke.
On the menu. Just 2 days later,
Salamu wapewa jumba wako vilema.
Dogo Presso lost it on social media. Post after post, rage-filled caption, chilling threats. He wasn't hinting, he was screaming. I'm coming for heads. I'm thirsty for blood. It was raw, it was disturbing, it was real. And you could feel the fear ripple across Mombasa. Even some members of Floropa tried to de-escalate. They wanted no part in what was coming. But Dogo, he wasn't trying to hear it. He mocked them, called them cowards, dared them to respond. He wasn't bluffed. At this point, the war was
wangekona blikis, una pull out to blikis. But yes,
wasn't just happening on the streets, it was on the timeline, and it was spiraling fast. But Mombasa police, they weren't sleeping. They were watching every post, every comment, every threat. So, the same day, Dogo dropped his blood-soaked warning. They moved in. A surprise raid led to the arrest of 4 key TMK members, Bobocha,
that is a conspiracy. That is conspiracy to commit murder.
Neto, Ismail, and Swale, the inner circle. In the operation, police reportedly recovered a fake pistol, several machetes, and a stash of marijuana. But the suspects, they denied everything, claimed the weapons weren't theirs, claimed it was a setup. Of course, the streets weren't buying it, because by now, everyone knew TMK wasn't just a gang, it was a movement, and the movement was out for blood. By December, the situation in Mombasa had spiraled out of control. Just 2 days after 4 of his boys were arrested, Dogo Presso came back online with a message that froze everyone who read it. This wasn't a warning. This was a death sentence. He didn't care that the police were watching. He didn't care that his crew was under pressure. He posted one final blood-chilling threat. "You haven't stepped into my territory. Fine, I'm coming into yours." And he meant every word of it. It was the festive season, a time when most people were with family, celebrating, but not TMK. Led by Dogo Presso himself, the gang made their move. They marched into Majengo, armed, ready, and filming everything. Pangas in hand, masks on, adrenaline high. They weren't there to flex, they were there to hunt.
Lazima mupende
And then they found someone, not a gang member, not even someone involved, just an innocent man in the wrong place at the wrong time. The group surrounded him, dragged him down, and unleashed one of the most brutal attacks ever captured on a phone camera. They didn't just film it, they posted it. Dogo Presso uploaded the video directly to his Facebook account, captioning it with an absolutely chilling message: "We will fish you out and we will slaughter you." That was it. The mask was off. There was no denying what TMK had become. This wasn't just gang beef. This was terrorism happening in broad daylight, on social media, in the heart of a tourist city. The video shocked Mombasa.
Sasa a Facebook post mtu anaweza fanya, lakini somehow wako missing. Lakini wacha mtu aseme something kuhusu higher up. Acha mtu aseme kitu yoyote kuhusu higher up, unaweza kujua mbio somehow. Wacha ngutufanya wajinga. This is terrorism.
Even the police, who had been relatively reactive up to this point, were now under public pressure to do something. Because if these guys were bold enough to record an assault and publish it for likes, what wouldn't they do next? After weeks of silence and rumors that he had gone underground, Dogo Presso resurfaced online. And what did he say? Not an apology, not a step back, another bold declaration. It was official. The violence wasn't ending, it was escalating. After months of chaos, things seemed to settle down a bit. The intense gang warfare had gone low-key, almost like the city was holding its breath. But the calm was just a pause, because on April 1st, 2017, TMK hit back in a way that shocked Mombasa's old town to its core. pool. 3 men, faces hidden but weapons clear, brandishing pangas, stormed into a local M-Pesa shop during the early hours. They didn't just scare the shopkeeper, they stole cash, plus thousands of shillings worth of airtime. The CCTV caught every second. The city saw the faces, the weapon, the brazen daylight robbery. Weeks later, police wrapped up their investigation and they weren't holding back. They released photos, not just of the robbers, but the entire TMK gang. A most wanted list was published, plastered on walls and circulated in news reports. At the very top, the boss himself, Dogo Press.
Kuna Cartel, Kitale, Majongo, Dogo Preso, Ameto, Tononoka, Chokambaya, Bavunene, na Mankan.
Right behind him, Ameto and Bobocha. Names everyone already knew. Names linked to the wave of violence gripping Mombasa. But the streets had a different plan. Despite the spotlight and the police pressure, Bobocha wasn't laying low. He resurfaced into Mbadobini and instantly trouble followed. He stabbed a man in cold blood, snatched his phone, tried to make a quick escape. But this time, the people had seen him. They recognized his face from the most wanted posters plastered all over the city. A crowd quickly gathered, voices rising. Anger boiled over. There was no mercy. In an act of street justice, a violent, brutal retribution, Bobocha was beaten to death on the spot. The message: the people weren't waiting for the police anymore. They were taking matters into their own hands. And in the shadows of Mombasa's winding streets, the war between the gang and the city had become something far more dangerous, a battle for survival. Before his violent end, Bobocha had one last message for Mombasa, a chilling photo, a promise to terrorize innocent residents. No remorse, no mercy. Then karma caught up. The very night Bobocha was beaten to death by an angry mob, the police struck hard. They raided a gang hideout and captured 5 suspects, armed to the teeth, with crude weapons ready to bring more pain to the community. Bobocha's death wasn't just a headline, it was a massive blow to the TMK. The gang's backbone shattered. His girlfriend mourned him online, her words dripping with rage and a vow for revenge. She was stunning, fierce, unyielding, a force adding fuel to an already dangerous fire. Meanwhile, the pressure was closing in on Dogo Preso. The manhunt was relentless. The walls were closing around. He knew his time was running out. In a surprising move, Dogo surrendered, not alone, but flanked by civil rights group and the influential MP Abdulswamad. During his surrender, Dogo tried to rewrite the story, claimed it was all self-defense, a justification for the violence that had gripped Mombasa.
Kwa sababu alimdunga ndugu yangu, kazani yangu, na sisi wakati huko wa Kiafrika tulislimishwa, au sio? Na sisi tulikwenda kwa sababu harusi ya ndugu yetu na walimdunga, na sisi tulikuwa tujakwenda kwa ubaya, tulikwenda kujidefense. Na sisi tuko tayari, kilikuwa si ubaya tusikilikuja leo ku.
MP Abdulswamad, now Mombasa's governor, stepped up. He promised to mediate, to bring the gangs together, to find a way to stop the bloodshed. With his help, some members, including...
He's what? Mombasa's governor right now. And he's defending the King Von of Mombasa. Okay.
Including Dogo, got a temporary release, a fragile window for peace.
Naweka hawa vijana wote kwa ukumbi mmoja. Kila mmoja aweze, ni lazima watu waweze kusameheana. We cannot live kama kicowboy hapa.
But peace was short-lived. On July 20th, 2017, Dogo was arrested again after more complaints flooded in. This time, the court set bail at 15,000 Kenyan shillings, allowing him to walk free while awaiting trial. The TMK gang, led by Dogo Preso, left scars that ran deep on families, on communities, on the very soul of the city.
15,000 bail.
Their rise and fall is a harsh reminder: when fear takes root, and violence becomes the language, nobody truly wins. The gangs might fade, the headlines might change, but the wounds they leave, those linger long after the cameras go quiet. Mombasa's fight for peace is far from over, and the question remains, how many more will be lost before the shadows finally lift? Nairobi Inside.
That is an amazing video. That's like what? Very interesting. Kumbe Kenya tunaweza nini? Hii sasa ni opportunity ya Kenya kutengeneza movies, but sasa kutengeneza movies unafaa kutengeneza in a way that unataka ikue ina push the right type of agenda. But content, the marketing
from being
marketing yetu inakuwa shida. Hapa hivi kuna jamaa fulani anajiita Levi Picture.
Found themselves getting kicked off a platform for one reason or another, starting with the most controversial one, Andrew Kibe. Andrew Kibe's termination on YouTube brought some mixed reactions among his fans, as some thought it was well deserved, while others thought it was unfair to the YouTuber.
The fact that
from being banned for his controversial advice about masculinity.
You are useless. What you are is a lambistic piece of shit. Okay, you know. Useless.
To being banned after being mistaken for an underage kid.
So ningependa kuongelelea just something that happened very recently. Your TikTok account.
Okay, they never told me the reason. They never told me the reason why they banned my account. I just woke up, I seen an account.
These are the Kenyan content creators who have once found themselves getting kicked off a platform for one reason or another, starting with the most controversial one, Andrew Kibe. Andrew Kibe's termination on YouTube brought some mixed reactions among his fans, as some thought it was well deserved, while others thought it was unfair to the YouTuber. As on the 11th of September 2023,
yes. You remember the overlords that give you money are the ones that said the term. So lazima hata kama unakuwa nini POS lazima usuge.
Andrew Kibe's YouTube channel with over 500,000 subscribers would get terminated for some unclear reasons. And when asked about the particular matter, Andrew Kibe would take it to X in a tweet saying, "Sounds so pedestrian. Can you show me the emails of the violations? That is the procedure, right? I mean, there is no way YouTube permanently blocks any channel that has over 3,000 videos with no paper trail." And to express their frustrations, most of Kibe's fans defended him, demanding that YouTube reinstate his channel or at least give an explanation as to why it got terminated. With one ex-user by the username Mariam saying, "Cancel culture cannot be allowed to take root in content creation." Kibe and his
cancel culture is not real, but by the time you YouTube channel.
Termination of his YouTube channel is not about his message.
2 seconds here. 2 seconds, so funny. 2 seconds za copyright material video yako hadi uta-upload itakushow.
But a direct attack on the creative, restore his accounts, say no to cancel culture. However, this would get a response from the head of communications at Google Africa stating, while he was restricted from using YouTube features including uploading videos on his channel, he used another channel to get around these restrictions, aka circumvention, resulting in the termination of all his channels.
You're NTOS. Terms of service lazima ni uwezi circumvent kama channel yako original.
And while Andrew Kibe got cancelled for his toxic criticism, this other YouTuber got terminated on YouTube for always speaking the truth and always calling out scammers. In case you're not familiar, the Truth Watchdog, a self-proclaimed internet DCI, is a YouTuber and TikToker with a cult-like following who makes videos calling out scammers and fake forex traders.
But Oga Obina will never take anyone who is not trending. First of all, you must be out there doing something.
You must be having value.
Known, and ukonaka influence at that specific time.
Yeah.
That's when they call you on board. But ati ya ujulikani, sijui nakaa keroko ni fulani. You want an interview with Oga? Which Oga? Mimi nakwambia ukweli.
That is his entire business model. Ni kama Kaisenat afanyangi hivyo. Sio Kaisenat ndo anga business model yake. The fact that wewe hiyo ndo attraction yake yenye ina maintain anakuwa hapo hivyo na maintain. Una watu wanafaa ku realize. Unafaa ukae chini uone uko zile za na mtu fulani ndo ana trend. Yeye ndo somehow anakuja kwa nini? Because inaonga hadi ule demo kababa for some reason alikuwa kuga ubina show before watu wengine ndio alielezwa kwa hapo, but somehow ukiwa una trend ndo that's his content. Getting you there to interact with the audience. That's his content. That basically is content on that show.
Enoga is a friend. If you're not trending, especially if you're not trending, you cannot have a platform with him.
And while most of the time he's right about everything, including the most famous Ponzi scheme CBEX, which stole over $840 million and affected mostly Nigerians and Kenyans, the Truth Watchdog calls them out, and this earns him a lot of enemies, including high government officials.
Talk to Truth Watchdog right now. Bro, you are a dog. I'm looking for a watchman.
Ujamaa bado na sei Kenya. Ni fraudster.
And this guy told him if he's a man, he should meet me in person. Yumbo ikuja niipe kazi. Nahitaji watchman huko kwangu by the way.
Even after losing his channels for unclear reasons, he still uploads to his TikTok and is still doing good numbers. And while the Truth Watchdog never got his channels back, the same can't be said for Njoki Murira. Njoki Murira is a TikToker known for her revealing outfits not appealing to everyone on the internet except creeps, and has a TikTok account with over 2.7 million followers. But on the 11th of November 2023, TikTok decided to shut down her account, and while some fans speculated that the reason for her ban was because of her explicit content, others speculated other TOS violations. But luckily, her account was reinstated back, and according to Edgar Obare, TikToker Njoki Murira gets her TikTok account back after appealing to TikTok. Let the nyashing continue. And unlike Njoki Murira, who was banned for her unappeal,
Content yake tu ni strap. Let's zimisha mara again. Come on. What the hell? Okay, online.